Hello. In this week's Torah portion, Balak, the Gentile prophet Balaam, gives us the first reference to the expected Jewish Messiah. Quote, "And Balaam said, I heard the words of God, and know the knowledge of the Most High, and saw the vision of the Almighty. A star shall shoot forth out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel. A ruler shall come out of Jacob." Unquote. This passage is understood by all commentators to refer to the future Messiah. But first, the prophet Elijah must return to announce his coming. As the prophet Malachi relates, quote, "God said, Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the great and terrible day of the Lord comes, and he will turn the hearts of fathers to their children and the hearts of children to their fathers." Unquote. Malachi was the last prophet, and those were his last words. So his last words were essentially to be continued. Elijah is frequently invoked in our tradition to perform many tasks. For example, during Havdalah, at the conclusion of Shabbat, we sing the song Eliyahu Hanavi, asking Elijah to come and bring the Messiah with him. Eliyahu Hanavi, bimhera veyamenu yavo elenu im Mashiach ben David. Elijah the prophet, may he come to us soon, in our day, with the Messiah, the son of David. In the Birkat Hamazon, the grace after meals, we also ask for Elijah. Harahaman hu yishlach lanu et Eliyahu hanavi zachur latov, vivaser lanu besorot tovot, yeshuot v'nechamot. May the All-Merciful send us Elijah the prophet. May he be remembered for good, and may he announce to us news of goodness, salvation, and comfort. On Pesach, Ashkenazic Jews reserve a seat and a cup of wine for Elijah, and even open the door of the house for him, hoping he will show up. Elijah is believed to always be present at a circumcision, a Brit Milah. Here's why. When Elijah was hiding in a cave, God visited him and asked him, "Why are you here, Elijah?" He replied, "I am moved by the zeal for the Lord, the God of hosts, for the Israelites have forsaken your covenant, Brit, torn down your altars, and put your prophets to the sword. I alone am left, and they are out to take my life." Unquote. God resented Elijah for bad-mouthing Israel. The Zohar said, God said to Elijah, "The mouth that accused Israel of forsaking the covenants shall testify that they are observing it." So the rabbis concluded that Elijah must be present at every circumcision to satisfy himself that the Jews indeed fulfilled that commandment. The Midrash says, quote, "Hence the sages instituted the custom that people should have a seat of honor for Elijah at every circumcision. For Elijah, may he be remembered for good, is called the messenger of the covenant, as it is said in Malachi, the messenger of the covenant, Brit, that you desire is coming." Unquote. Elijah is said to reappear frequently, sometimes in disguise, to help people in distress and make peace between individuals. The Talmud offers many tales of his reappearances. Sometimes he's almost playful, as in this Midrash. Quote, "On one occasion, our rabbis were debating about Elijah, some maintaining that he belonged to the tribe of Gad, others to the tribe of Benjamin. Whereupon he came and stood before them and said, 'Sirs, why do you debate about me? I am a descendant of Rachel,' that is, of Benjamin. One time the Romans were pursuing Rabbi Meir. Elijah came disguised as a prostitute and embraced Rabbi Meir. The Romans saw this and concluded, this cannot be Rabbi Meir. He would never act that way." On his final return, Elijah is expected to every outstanding disputes on Jewish law. In the Talmud, unresolved difficulties are frequently followed by the word teku, let it stand, which is said to be an acronym for Tishbi Yetaretz Kushiyot et Uveayot. The Tishbite, Elijah, will resolve difficulties and problems. Who was Elijah? Elijah, Eliyahu in Hebrew, was a prophet in the kingdom of Israel, the northern kingdom, in the 9th century BCE, during the reign of King Ahav, and his Phoenician wife Jezebel, and later King Ahaziah. He was passionately monotheistic and resolutely opposed to the rampant idolatry he witnessed within the borders of the kingdom. His very name means, "My God is Hashem." Indeed, idolatry was tolerated by the king, and even his wife worshipped the idol Baal. The general attitude was henotheistic, meaning, I worship my gods, you worship yours, we can both worship both, they all exist. Elijah would have none of this. It says in the book of Kings, quote, Elijah approached all the people and said, "How long will you keep hopping between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him, and if Baal, follow him." But the people did not answer him. Unquote. He even accused God of not doing enough. Quote, "Answer me, O Lord, answer me, that this people may know that you, O Lord, are God, for you have turned their hearts backwards." The Talmud calls him impertinent for that. Elijah did not hesitate to use heavy sarcasm toward a group of idolaters on Mount Carmel. Quote, "And Elijah said to the 450 prophets of Baal, Call on the name of your gods. And they called on the name of Baal from morning until noon, shouting, O Baal, hear us. But there was no sound, no response. When noon came, Elijah mocked the prophets of Baal and said, Shout louder. After all, he's a god. Maybe he's deep in thoughts, or maybe he's relieving himself in the bathroom, or maybe he's on a trip, or maybe he's sleeping, and you should wake him." Unquote. Later, Queen Jezebel sought to kill him. He hid in a cave, and God talked to him. Quote, "A great and strong wind rent the mountains, but the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, a still small voice. And that was God's. And God told him, Go back the way you came." Unquote. Elijah is hugely popular in Jewish lore, the subject of many folk tales and legends, much more than any other prophet. Yet he was an uncompromising absolutist. Are the two connected? Yet he failed in the end. The northern kingdom was conquered by Assyria, and its 10 tribes assimilated and vanished from history. He captured the imagination of the people because of the miracles that always occurred around him. God had ravens feed him bread and meat. A jar of flour and a jug of oil belonging to a poor widow never emptied as she kept cooking, and he raised her son from the dead. God caused strong winds to take him from one place to another. He outran the king's chariot from Mount Carmel all the way to Jezreel. He divided the waters of the Jordan. Finally, in a flashy finale, his death was spectacular. Quote, "And the fiery chariot with fiery horses suddenly appeared, and Elijah went up to the heavens in a whirlwind." Unquote. Since we didn't have his body, he did not really die. He will keep reappearing mysteriously, usually where he is needed most. Shabbat Shalom.